What's good, you guys? This is RTL YTSGaming back at again with another video. Today we got Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear talking about Ubisoft's free-to-play survivor game that faces an uphill battle, aka Division Heartland, as you see in the search bar. So we're about to check this out and see what information that Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear has on this game. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, feel free to check out my reaction to the cinematic intro. Let's get it.
Okay, so before we begin, let's take a quick quiz. What does Ghost of Tsushima, Jedi Fallen Order, and Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor all have in common? I'm going to give you a few seconds to come up with an answer.
Single player game?
Okay, so time's up. If you answered, they were all games that were initially thought would fail and ended up absolutely destroying expectations,
Ghost of
then
Tsushima,
you got the right answer. Assumptions, expectations, and comparisons are some of the swiftest killers in the gaming industry. Heartland is currently feeling the squeeze from all three, and it's time we talk this one out.
Oh shit, that's cold. That's a cold
What's
intro.
going on, everybody? It's Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, and welcome back to the channel. Heartland has been under the microscope ever since it was revealed back in May 2021. Immediately, the speculations and opinions began flying all over the social sphere, and this is one of the comments that I consistently see anytime I upload Division content. When is Heartland coming out? Which is a totally valid question because Heartland was initially set to release back in 2021 and has since been delayed 3 times, most recently up to the fiscal year 2023. Looking back to this roadmap for the Division universe, and much of this timeline has never materialized, but what I wanted to concentrate on was...
Wait. The Division, the GOAT, whatever, Division 2. Division novel, Division 2, the Division Heartland, which I hope is good, Division mobile game, never played it, but this, a film? That was gonna make a movie? I'm intrigued. Netflix though, but I'm still intrigued about it. Okay.
Has never materialized, but what I wanted to concentrate on was Heartland, because no matter what state it eventually launches in, no matter how strong or weak the content may be, it faces a tremendously steep climb to achieve success. The first and definitely most thorough of those gaming killers I mentioned earlier has to be comparisons. How will Heartland stack up versus those that came before? And in the world of the Division, Heartland immediately runs headlong into the GOAT, survival. Now, undoubtedly, Red Storm saw this storm coming a mile away, hence them labeling Heartland as a shooter action game versus that of survival, which is, by the way, many things to many people, but has eventually settled into the header of Extraction Royale. But despite that intentional shift in branding, the comparisons will still be applied. Division agents, PvEVP, loot to collect and extract, and a virus to battle. Those who know survival will notice small differences, but just based on those terms, the connections will be applied, and with it, the comparisons. Fair or unjust, that's an argument for another day, but those comparisons are going to happen. And this may be a bit of a heater that I'm going to throw out there, but you aren't going to beat survival at its own game. The best you could try to do is to create enough of a difference gap to try to maintain some form of individuality. Survival was a genre-defining mode that stripped the Division down to its very primal core. No gear sets, no setups, just the Division experience in an ultra-concentrated and super addictive form. Some would even argue that this is what the entire Division game should have been, but again, different discussion for a different day. So what happens when Heartland eventually punches the go-live switch? Will it be Survival 2.0? Will it do enough or even exceed those survival comparisons? That's a monumental ask for any game, but especially one that is set in the Division universe. Let's table that comparisons topic for just a bit and next turn to assumptions. Now, besides the natural glee players express that it's going to be Survival 2.0, by the way, their words, not mine, the most heated and often used comment I see is down to the fact that Heartland is going to be F2P, or free to play. There is an entrenched and morally opposed section of the general gamer base that sees those words, free to play, and they just instantly check out. Again, a discussion topic for another video. The question of why, should, and or what motivated Ubisoft to push Heartland over to this type of model, and strong arguments can be made on both sides of the aisle. Free-to-play gives more players access to the ability for someone to experience a slice of the Division universe with no cash outlay. On the flip side, there are numerous horror stories of F2P gone wild, crazy monetization models, subscription fees, and the most dreaded moniker in the gaming world, pay to win. At this point, we actually know very little about how Heartland will attempt to monetize the game. Will it be strictly cosmetics? Will it be cosmetics and season passes to new content? Or will it just go full EA? Also, a bit of an odd choice to go with this model considering the negative stigma surrounding the name and the overall vibe that Ubisoft is late to the party with this monetization model. Let's next transition over to expectations, and of all the Swift gaming killers, I find this one to be the harshest of them all. There are such strong opinions on both sides, and I often can't tell if the person submitting the statements truly believes what they are saying, or is it just some tagline they've seen and decided to echo. You've got the uber hyped all lined up on one side of the field versus the set in stone, this game will suck, destroyers. And all of this is based on leaked early footage from a few years ago and an official Ubisoft trailer during Ubi Forward that showed very little continuous gameplay. Now, this is also an interesting...
If that really is the gameplay from it, but I'm a believer in you can't call a game ass until you actually play it. If you haven't played it, shut the fuck up. That's just what I'm a believer in. And some people, especially in this day and age, love to just be negative and haven't even played anything. Like, even when you come to this channel right here, anytime you hear me or Berto say something negative about a game that you may enjoy, that's because we played it, we didn't like it, and that's our opinion. It's not no swayed opinion because Twitter said this or Instagram said that. We don't live in that stupid bubble. That's goofy. But majority of that bubble, that's what the gaming companies have to listen to, and it just be so flawed. I don't get it. Like, people right now, I'm not a fan of Division 2. It's no secret, but I'm still going to play this game. I'm signed up for the beta, and I'm going to give it a fair shake. I hope it's great, because if it's great, it's more content for you guys. And if it's great and I enjoy it, it's a win-win. You know what I'm saying? But some people, they be like, oh, Division game? Next. Before I go on a little rant, I'm just going to say this. Prime example, Wolong Fallen Dynasty. There's people right now that says the game is trash, garbage, ass. Because either A, they can't beat the first boss, or B, it was on Game Pass of all things. And it's like, play the game. Actually play the game. And people that got stuck at the first boss actually played the game past the first boss. And you'll see the game's actually pretty good. I don't know though. Different strokes for different folks.
Topic. Supporters and destroyers both dug in, firm in their beliefs that the game will either be golden or shite. I still wonder how anyone can truly form a solid and or educated opinion about Heartland. How do you know it will be excellent unless you've already convinced yourself that it will be nothing but that? On the flip side, how do you know it's going to suck? And this brings me to the assumption that Heartland will be an actual whatever you want it to be. It will be that Survival 2.0. It will be the savior of the entire franchise. It will be the suckiest product to ever go live. Who actually knows? From the limited footage available, we've seen Division agents wearing what seem to be scaled down setups from previous titles, that third-person perspective, some gunplay, melee weapons, and some weather cycles. Again, how has anyone formed such a solid and entrenched opinion about a game that has seen basically nothing but some previous leaked footage from a long time ago, plus that mentioned B-roll from the last Ubi Forward presentation? And I feel this is the perfect point to transition over to my final points about Heartland. How long it has been since it was first announced, and how little communication has been made to the player base concerning the game itself. Firstly is that lack of communication. This one is really pretty simple. It's basically been nothing for 2 years besides the occasional playtest blast. Players would be more moderate towards the potential of the game if they knew more. Overall, a pretty simple concept here. The second point takes a little longer to explain, but it all boils down to too much time in the oven. Now, we've seen an extreme example of what happens when you leave a game in the development cycle for too long. Exhibit A, Skull and Bones. Now, Heartland hasn't been in there nearly as long, but it's been 2 years since the game was announced. 2 years of basically no communication. 2 years with nothing but a few minutes of chopped up B-roll footage during a Ubi Forward livestream. And it begs the question, has Heartland missed its window? Has it missed its opportunity to make the maximum splash on not only the Division fan base, but the general gaming market? I mean, we know so little. And
I don't think it's missed its time yet, because let's be real, if the game comes out and it's amazing, everybody's going to be on it, and they're going to play the game, and they're going to spread it, or whatever the case may be. Now, the question is the game good? Forget all the previous footage that we've seen of some shit that don't matter, like pre-alpha or whatever. The game that we get, hopefully this year, is it going to be good? That's where it all boils down to. I hope it is. I'm pretty sure anyone watching this video hope the game is. But that's the biggest question. Is the game going to be good? And beta is coming out. Like I'm going to keep saying, I'm not sponsored nothing, but I'm going to keep pushing that beta out, because we need people playing the game without what's the word? Without tampered opinions. We need people out here with their own brain that can think for themselves, that can play a game and be like, okay, this is actually a good game, or this game is actually terrible. We need people with their own mind that can think for themselves to play this game. Any game for that matter. Because, like I said, they can give us one of the best games ever. Never know until you actually play it. But for the people that he was talking about, they're shitting on it right now off rip, saying, oh, it's trash. It's like, bro, you haven't even played it. Or whatever we've seen. Trash. Like, I even said, graphics do look kind of terrible. But soon, he said that was alpha footage. Why are we still holding that against him? I guarantee you don't look like that now. Some people, it's like, I've been in development for video games before, for Ghost Recon a while back, and it's like pre-alpha footage 9 times out of 10 looks terrible. So it's like, I don't get it, man. People be claiming they're gamers, but they're not really.
Each time we ask one question, 3 others spring up. Now, we know that Heartland received its official ratings from the likes of ESRB and PEGI. It's also been confirmed that Ubisoft will be holding their next Ubi Forward event this June. Now, the lineup hasn't been confirmed yet, but I would expect Heartland to be in that showcase lineup, at which point it needs to make the maximum splash possible or risk further indifference. Ultimately, if you believe Heartland will be the messiah for PvEVP in the Division, Survival 2.0, etc., then that is what it's going to be for you. And the reverse holds true as well. But whenever we finally do get our hands on Heartland, as I've laid out in this breakdown, it will have a truly steep mountain to climb to be that game-changer, standalone mode it has been touted to be. Lots of food for thought in this one for you to crunch on. I truly do hope that when Heartland does go live, it will absolutely blow people's minds. Fingers crossed on this one. If you enjoyed the video, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell to receive my future upload notifications. Remember, you can find and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and over in my open community Discord server, links to all of which can be found in the video description and pinned comments below. Shout out to the over 116,000 of you that have taken the leap and hit subscribe.
I think he's done talking for real. Alright, so shout out to Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear. Everything he said in the video, straight facts. But I'm going to add some things as well before we wrap this up. Like he was saying that the game company Ubisoft has not been transparent about what's going on. I will say that is a huge problem. Because if you're already on the rocks with the fan base, and then you got another game coming out, you most definitely should be engaging with your fan base. Like, okay, this is what we got going on, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that we're just not hearing something, and it's been 2 years, that is a red flag. But I'm just going to tell everybody, wait till June. Wait till the beta. Sign up for the beta. Wait for June for the Ubisoft showcase, whatever the case may be. See what it actually looks like. And go for there. You know what I'm saying? We got what? May, June. 2 more months from now. So it's not that long. I hope the game is great, because it really pains me to say that Division is not a good game. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to repeatedly say I did not enjoy Division 2. Now, I didn't like it before. It was fun to dislike that game. I bought the game day one, Deluxe Edition. Did not enjoy it the first month. Everybody else got on the hate train a little bit later, years later. They even came back to the game like 6 months later, a year later, so on and so forth, just to see if the game even got better. Nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because again, I like to form my own opinion about things. But now it's just popular to hate Division, and they got this dark cloud over their head. And it's like, you got me, some people would say, one of their biggest haters, because I hate Division 2. But I'm optimistic that Division Heartland, I think it's called Heartland. Yeah, Heartland will be a great game. And hopefully, even though it's free to play, they don't EA us and charge us an arm and a leg for the craziest stuff. I really hope they don't do that. But let's have a discussion in the chat. I had a flight reacts moment, not knowing what I was trying to say and say too much at once. But let's have a discussion in the chat, and we can talk about it. But if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new. And I'm going to keep reacting to this and making videos for this game until it drops, you know what I'm saying? Even when it drops. So, peace.